What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Amy, Bill, Brian, Cheryl. Corey's in the house. Good morning to Jeff. Good morning to Joe, John, Lauren, Lucian, Marius, Rick, Rob, Shane. We got Shane in the house. Good morning to Tim, Wendy, all my people out in YouTube land. Good morning to all of you. We got LC, Big Dream. Good morning. We got me. Good morning. All my lurkers in the background of YouTube that just probably not gonna say nothing all day, just be hanging out. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. But whew, market is staying bullish. So we had some options for yesterday. We had some what will happen because we were just in a not even in, but we were gapping right below yesterday's close, which was just a high wave candle, so a little bit to the weaker side at open. Still relatively in that last breakout candle, still kind of playing off that gap up in the SPY. So I think the overall gap is still very, very strong, though a little bit of a weaker spot for the open. And then we were talking about like, hey, if we get up to 587.81, if you want to get your protection just in case, that should be the resistance. If we start breaking through it, I would just take the L on any of the protective puts or anything like that because I think we go higher. And we've been talking about this almost 592 zone for a little bit. So now, uh, strength has been shown. We do have a little bit of a retest gap at open. And interestingly enough, so I have the alert set for like 592.82, somewhere in there. I think we just got very, very close to it pre-market. My question is that all they're going to give us? That little, we got to like 592.43. So did they just give it to us that hit the resistance in pre-market? We're starting to fade a little bit. I'm getting cautious on the bull action. I still like everything bullish, but especially with today being a little bit of a retest. That retest, if we sell off, probably looking for like 589.09 to the downside. And then to the higher side. And it looks like in fact, let me take the alert off since we kind of got close to it. I just want to get more accurate. It's not letting me do it. Yeah, so I got 592.55. Somewhere in that zone. We got very, very close to that pre-market, 592.64, somewhere right around there. So we just hit that pre-market. That could be a resistance. Again, I don't want to predict that that's the top of the selling, but we have run or top of the buying. We have run pretty good. Right now, everything still looks bullish. The markets seem to be pretty happy. I think we get consumer sentiment today. Today's also Friday, Friday expiration day, so we're gonna have another little hand in the market with some of those options expiring today, and people making some plays based around it. But we will see. I think we get. I'm starting. This is where I wanted to get a little cautious. If we start pushing higher, the next spot I got somewhere around 594.31. I think that's going to be a major spot as well. And then if we start breaking through, I mean, the next spot we got is like 604.80, 610 or 609.91, somewhere up there. So we'll see. Very, very important spot in the market. We just have not really had any pullbacks yet. I think coming down to eventually retest this 581.79 would be pretty useful for some of the bulls. Let some of these people take profits, get some new bulls in, get that next wave up. I think that would strengthen the move to the higher side. But for right now, I think we're kind of just chilling. Also, we have a full 2 days off where the markets are closed, but the Trump is still active, and we don't know if we get any deals or anything that comes in over the market or over the weekend, which could just end up pushing this thing and major gapping above 595 zone would be absolutely huge for the markets as well. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm all bearish now, but I'm going to be cautious to the bull side unless we get some kind of news or some kind of push that gets us above some of those key levels. But we're starting to get into like the okay zone. Everything else, fundamentally, technically at least, right now we're still making higher VPOCs. Everything looks bullish still, but just something to think about in the markets. The Trump, yep. We got the Qs. Same thing. Looking pretty decent. So again, another gap up. This is still inside day. I would expect this VPOC to at least retest this 519.15. So I think we do pull down into that zone, and we'll see what happens from there. Otherwise, my target to the higher side on this one is 523.93. I don't think we hit that one pre-market. I don't think we got close to it yet. We hit 521.65. We got close, still a little bit far away. So Qs, I think, still look a little bit to the stronger side, or at least has a little bit more room until that resistance hits. SPY, we got very, very close to that, at least the first one. Again, everything looks strong. I don't want to be like, hey, this is the top. Everybody, this is the time to get puts. But for protection, maybe it might be a decent spot to try, as is just the zone I was looking for. Otherwise, see what happens at 519.26. That should be support today. For resistance, I'd be looking for like 523.73, and then a major one. The next major one will take us to like 526.71. So still some room to the higher side on Qs. Everything still looks decent, but maybe some selling at open, and then see if the buy the dippers want to step in for today. And maybe again, if they are predicting some kind of headline of deal or something, it is what it is. We'll see. UNH. So UNH, I did buy some long-term UNH yesterday. I think I got it like 260 was the price I added to the long term. Regretting, regretting. I don't know if I think I got to switch it to a 5 minute chart, but 3 minute maybe would have gave us something. But right now you're still just kind of melting. Everything is just fading. The 5 minute shows a better picture of why I'm like, was that the spot? I was looking at like 246 for a long time. I think we were in the 330s and 340s, and I was like, I think somewhere around 240 would be a 246, I think 245, 247, somewhere around that zone would be an interesting spot for UNH. I think that's where I would step in for the long term. We got close. We got 249, so I was like, maybe we could do it. And then you have a kind of little breakdown right at around that 250. The bull stepped in. You had some volume on the hammer. It was a playable hammer, which just wasn't any double bottom or anything like that. But this kind of followed through. I was like, okay, you know what? I think I don't know if the bottom's in. Who knows? We'll see if there's more headlines and things like that. But it was close enough for the long term for me to add. So I at least picked up some shares. We did sell. I did sell some puts down at the $200 strike price yesterday as well. So I have some positions. It is what it is, but no, we could have probably taken that for a day trade too. So kind of regretting that a little bit. Otherwise, massive volume that came in yesterday. Today we're gapping above that entire candle. That looks good. Targets to the higher side on this one will take you to about 310.80. I don't know how to get into this one. To be honest, we'll have to see if there's a candle to play or something, but it's got a lot of room to the higher side. To the downside, technically, you got about 263.69 if we get back down there. Maybe some of the I don't know, maybe get some more negative headlines or something, but otherwise, the closer you get to like 275.45, I don't really have any levels. Like the support technically is $20 away, maybe $18 away. To the higher side, you have about $30 to the higher side. You still have better risk reward bullish. It's just a matter of picking your direction, but massive retest gap from yesterday. We never really retested. We still have gaps all over the place. This would be a gap up to like 379, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I'm in for the long term. I have that. I have the puts. I have some action on it. If we can get some selling on this one, we have some profit taking. We come down into the candle. That would give us a better spot, and then we'll have to see what kind of setup we get on like a 5 minute chart, something to take advantage of that gets us slightly better risk to reward than me going $20 stop on my day trade for today. So we'll see, but really, really good open. I like the fact that we're taking out all that high volume candle. And again, I think that the first target 313.38, I think a better one would actually be 317.45. So decent. We'll see. But give me some sideways chop, give me a high wave candle, give me something I could actually play. And we'll see. Wait for a double bottom. Yeah, intraday wait for double bottom. This is a gap and go. There is some bulls, obviously, me being one of them that did step in yesterday. So I know there's some people that go, "Wow, I just made $20 a share on," and I'm in it for the long term, so I'm not selling. But even for a trade basis, if people are taking options, you're up $20 on something that's pretty weak and then clearly downtrending. If it if by next month we're still in this zone or lower, I will dollar cost average. I'm just starting to build out that position. If it never lets me get more shares, so be it though. We will see. Let's see. We got Lilly. Lilly looked like it was on the deathbed yesterday. It's starting to get underneath this daily candle from yesterday. VPOC was lower, and then all of a sudden, some strength out of nowhere came in. For today, all of this now is technically inside this candle from Wednesday. This is a retest gap. I would see if you could get it if you're trying to go bullish, and maybe that was a little bit of okay, we're too low. We don't want. We've been talking about this one for a while, where if this does not hold this region, if this one doesn't hold the zone that we're in, and we've already kind of trapped into this, so it's either that this is the trap we shown the bulls shown that they can get higher, and all of this is just a fantastic retest into it, and then we take off from here. All right, bulls hang in, but this is a very scary zone for Lilly to be in, and it looked like we were kind of heading back into it. I have nothing really to support us until we get to like the 580s, 590s. So that's a pretty big downward move. This is definitely a zone that I think bulls would like to protect. So far they have, and again, right now on a daily basis, all we've really done is just kind of retested the last little bear trap. Gave some of those people who were in there bearish the opportunity to get out, new bulls to emerge, and we'll see if they could lift it off from here or save it. Swing trade, you probably actually have a decent trade in a bullish direction on it. I don't think it's gonna be an easy one, but probably throwing some kind of stops anywhere under like 699 would give you an opportunity. I think you could probably try to get it lower, so 730, 629. And again, it could definitely break this. You know where your stop is at. You know how to get out of this thing. You could probably reverse the play as well. But yeah, I think you have a decent setup for bulls where nothing looks bullish on it yet, except for potential good, interesting spot for a double bottom for a little bit of a bounce with a good stop in place. I wouldn't be bearish today on it. I'd see if you could see if it comes down to like 530, 550, and that would be an interesting spot, I think, even for a day trade. Only problem is I don't know where your stop is. You're going to need a good tightish setup on it intraday. I think your resistance on this one 749, and we'll 749.08. See if that breaks, and then you got your next target up to like 755.42. So not much room until we break out of this little congestion, but so far hanging in there, and yeah, we'll see what happens on this one. Qubit, I think didn't this one report earnings yesterday or this morning? So last night, yep. So they strong beat. They're expected a loss. They came in with 18-cent beat, 257% beat on EPS. Earnings, they missed it by $61,000. So pretty close to guessing. Other than that, market likes it. They're taking this one higher. This is one that gets these the retailers just love everything quantum anything. But really good gap for today. It is technically a retest gap from yesterday. However, most of that has just been sitting in this little sell-off range. I like the fact, we'll see where this one opens, but I like the fact that you were above 1030. So as long as it can stay above 1030, I'm cool with it. Otherwise, your next spot down to try would be somewhere around $10.04. I wouldn't want to see a full-on retest of this. I do like the room to the higher side. You have about the $11 mark. So yeah, a little tough at open. If I could get close to $10, that might be the trade on Qubit. It's not one that I trade too much for me personally, but momentum can definitely kick into anything quantum. Even watch Oklo today as a sympathy. Oklo might be a decent sympathy play on it. Hims and hers. I don't want to be sexist. Neither do they. That's why they call themselves hims and hers. Generally covers everybody, actually. They should just call it everybody. Uh, so everybody is gapping up a little bit. Just kind of inside day, nothing too crazy. Obviously, crazy momentum in a bullish direction as of recently. That momentum looks like it's still hanging in there. You're still really having just kind of a bear trap wick yesterday. Obviously, buy the dippers came in strong on this one, closing back inside this candle. We've now retested this 55.35 inside day from yesterday. See if you get a little pullback. Look for some kind of support around 57.86. If that one breaks down, you probably got about 55.18. We've been there before, easier to break down at this point, and then target to the downside, probably about 52.33. Resistance on this one, you got a pretty healthy resistance, 62.04, so kind of chop city, just inside. I'd probably have to lean on the general direction that we've been already moving, so I'd probably still want to stay bullish or very nervous bull a bear on it. But if you're playing the bear trade, you're just assuming this thing has gone too high. It's a very dangerous thought to have. But if this one wants to come down, great. You have a look of a double top that you did hit a longer term resistance 65.39. Otherwise, the recent move is probably the way I'd stick, and I'd still try my hardest to stay bullish on it. But you do have a target not too far out in terms of day trade wise. Nvidia was pumping this morning, pulled back a little bit with everything else. But I do have an imaginary gray line. That's at 137.42. Where did we get to? Oh, so close. Not there yet. Not into my imaginary line. And I drew these lines forever ago, like 2 years ago, I think. I don't even remember the time frame. I don't even remember why I drew them, but they've been so accurate that I just keep them up on the screen at this point. I don't know what they represent, but they're gray. They look cool, and the stock seems to like them. So other than that, watch for that 137 imaginary line, 137.42. This is a retest gap as well. Probably wouldn't be shocked if you get some selling at open. Looks like we're into a little bit of no resistance there. Nothing really holding us back. I guess the next spot we got is like 137.69 for targets. But this is a retest gap. Be cautious, I think, of going bullish right at open. If the Sumian wants to pull back, look for your first spot somewhere around 135.21. Maybe get down to like 134.74-ish. But that first spot would be, I think, pretty key. 135.28. See if we get back into that range, and then if the Bulls want to step in, you at least have a slightly better risk reward into the imaginary line. On extreme bullish, 137.77, and I guess my extreme bullish would be 139.24. I think it's going to be a struggle to get up there without any major retest in Nvidia. So looks good, looks bullish. Just how you get into it is the bigger. That's going to be the question that drives you to success with that one. Adobe also retest gap, gapping above your 100, wide open gap, nothing really holding you back. You got targets. I'm sure that I don't think we hit this today. It'd be incredible if we do. But I think longer term targets, you're probably looking for a gap fill, or a lot of traders are 437.27 for today. I'd see what happens at 419.36 is probably your target. To your downside, besides your 100, which is sitting at 411.87, really support on this one would be 408.12. A full-on retest gap, I think we'd be actually looking a little bit weaker if we do that, but that would take us to 403.39. So any pullbacks, see if we can stall out let's call it 408. But if we could stall out somewhere around 408, I think that would be an interesting buy spot. But you actually have a little bit more room to the downside. Then to the bullish side, unless this thing just opens, rips absolutely crazy, and then you're looking at like the 435 or 436 zone, which would be crazy bullish target. I don't know if we hit that today, but looks good. I'm enjoying the fact that it's above the 100 though. We get that one higher on the list. We'll see what happens on that one. AMD looked good, at least pre-market when I looked before. Let's see if the deck of cards still looks the same. It does. It does. Again, we did break above the 200. We just got smacked around and pushed right back down below it. That's sitting at 120.96. That's going to be the key zone for today. Other than that, bullish engulfing, not bullish engulfing, but bullish gap and go for today. You are above yesterday's VPOC. And more importantly, the candle that smacked against that 200 had crazy good volume to it. You're not clearing that candle yet, so there's still going to be a hurdle, probably somewhere right at the opening price, 119.91, and then back to that 200. However, what I do like on this one is the highest volume of that day came in at 117.55. If we can open above it, let's see if we come down. It's not too far away. It's about 30 cents down. If we could hold that support, I would be willing to try AMD as a day trade in a bullish direction. Going to be nervous about some of those targets. I'm going to need a tight setup because I don't know what's going to happen at 119.82. I don't know what's going to happen at 121. But if we could take out that momentum, which so far we've taken out a lot of it, I like this one in a bullish direction. I think you have more room on it potentially than Nvidia probably for today. And then if we could break through, if somehow we clear the high end of that candle, I think you're off to the races on AMD. So that kind of does look good. Looks like a sneaky good one. It's not the most impressive, like clear cut, but I like it. I think there's at least really good support below us. Hood, HOOD. Hood, chilling for the moment again. Retest from yesterday. The last 2 days really have been in this bullish candle. So I think that momentum is still the dominant momentum. The path up has been the dominant push. I think the direction to stay. The candle yesterday, again, we broke down. Bulls came right back in. That's turning into a little bit of a bear trap, but still all inside day. So maybe tight range. I think I'd have to wait for a pullback on this one. I'm not sure where I would like it. I think $60.72 would be interesting. The spot I'd rather wait for, which would get me better risk reward, is 59.94. Um, but my target on this one, I think 61.50. If we end up breaking, it starts to look better. Your target's probably 62.91. Anything above that, I think you're probably almost back to the $65 range. Um, for right now, it's a little just inside this candle from Tuesday. Probably a little bit more choppy. So on those choppy days, the lower I could buy it, the better. As long as that is as close as possible to 59.94 or higher. So a couple pennies higher, maybe. But anything below it, I'd start hitting the brake pedal on the bullish buying and see if you come a little bit lower. You almost retested 57.36, not quite close. And then your next target to the retest side, 54.70. So you're high up there. We're very close to all-time highs. I think it's all-time highs. Not all-time highs yet, but at least to that recent last pivot, you're getting kind of close to it. So you're not buying it cheap. You're buying it expensive, looking for more momentum to ride in, and you're just sitting on an inside, really kind of set up. STZ, Constellation Brands, I think looks pretty decent. Probably be patient, see if you get a pullback on this one. Otherwise, yeah, I think it looks good, but that is a retest gap as well. I don't think I want the entire gap to close. Maybe get down to like 191.63. For resistance, there's really nothing in the way to hold this thing back. I think your target longer term, probably about 218.96. For that to happen, you are going to have to get above that 200. And by the way, that's the first target. I think if you start getting up there and now you're above the 200, you probably sit through a bigger pullback. And then I think it looks a lot better for buy the dippers. But this is still an interesting gap. Yeah, I don't know if I could go bullish on it right away. 203.15, I think would be my target for today if we get there. If it does anything crazy, right at the top end of that candle, you're also going to run into your 200. So maybe you could just try to eye down that 200 if you're trying to work on those holding muscles a little bit. Anything on that pullback, I think would look decent, but it is a nice gap. Pullbacks, especially if this turns into just an all red candle today at close, maybe an opportunity to buy it, and hold that one through the weekend. I'm gonna keep that on my high alert list just to see how this one really closes today. And then probably if I could get, I don't know if it's gonna pull back. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't want DJ a part of it, but if it does want to pull back and we get down to that zone, that might give us an interesting opportunity, at least for a swing trade. So we'll see. Let's see. Shopify. Shopify looks pretty good. I like this one. Target though, would take me to about 114.07. maybe we get to like 114.89. $4, about $3, almost $4. Support on this one, probably about 110.57. This is another little sneaky one. I kind of like that one. I think if we can get momentum to come in, but let's see if we get a small pullback. I don't need much. 60 cents pullback, something like that. High wave candle. I'd go with that one on Shopify. Same thing with AMD. But AMD and Shopify very, very similar in terms of like this type of gap. Different candles, but they're very, very close to good spots for the breakout. Obviously, all the volume came on that bullish momentum. You have some bulls profitable so far. AMD, I think, would give you I don't know, I think AMD might give you a better like potential to break through and just run higher targets. Shop is going to have a little bit more. I think I like AMD slightly better than Shop, but the Shop I like probably very, very close to AMD. Google, if I've not looked at it, I have not looked at it. Oh, I did pre-market actually. Or pretty hopping on. Yeah, this one looks interesting. Again, same issue as yesterday. We have the 100 right there. You got the 200 right there as well. This is a retest gap just because yesterday is red, but yesterday was also a retest gap too. This is your second chance that you're now opening above this candle. Again, for a swing trade, I think eventually we break out of this 200. I think leaning to the bull side is the direction. I think you have a lot more bears trapped on this thing than not. Next target would take you to about 169.79. So the question is today, how strong are some of these bulls? Can we get through it? But I would look at Google in a bullish manner as opposed to a bearish. Again, maybe if I could get a retest, that'd be better. Getting in as close as possible to 165.33. Yesterday was a retest. Maybe that happens, but now you're gapping above that big green candle as well. That's a little different than yesterday. This could be an open. This could be an open and just run, especially if you start breaking that 200 quickly. So watch that 200 EMA. AMAT has a gap and go on it. AMAT. There's a lot of tickers today. I'm not getting to a lot of these. Hood goes with crypto. It does. It also has a little bit of its own element to Hood, but yeah, for the most part, it's a little bit tied to crypto. Yeah, so this is a gap and go. They came out with earnings, which I don't think were that bad. They did miss on the revenue by 28 million. They beat on the earnings per share by 3.28. So this is a gap down. It depends on when this one opens. It's very, very jumpy. Before earlier when I looked at this one, it was below 168.21. But I think as long as you stay above 168.21, even though it's a gap and go, I think it's a failed gap and go. And we probably just hang out in this range. Targets to the bull side 173.30, but you have your 200 right there. Anything below 168.21, I think that's your trade to the downside. I'm not sure where we could run to, but probably the bigger targets 158.75. Otherwise, we get caught up at like the low end of this candle, 166.27. So I'd watch it for now. I'm not crazy bearish on this one just because we are just really gapping into a previous support. Earnings weren't terrible, but yeah. And that is the opening bell. So we didn't get to a lot of these. There's been a lot of tickers today. So be careful, be patient. Options expire today. That's going to move the markets a little bit crazy. And at open, there's probably a little extra volatility at the very end of the day. A little extra volatility. And we'll see if any deals come in. Anything crazy happens over the weekend. Otherwise, be careful, be safe, and I will catch you guys on Monday.